Hi, I'm Tracy from Tracy's Learning and Coaching, life coaching hypnotherapist based in Poole in Dorset. So before lockdown, I was doing a lot of these First Steps to Change programs. It's their workshops designed to help you make your first steps to changing what you want to do. So we are on number 4 of workshops. Now, if you hear any noises in the background, I have a wonderful granddaughter with me. If she's say hi, Faith.
Hello.
So she is making a mosaic of a flower for my mother, who would have been her 92nd birthday today. So she's doing that while I'm doing this. She can keep herself occupied, and at the same time. So she's not talking all the time. Could go horribly wrong. We'll see. Okay. So first steps to change. So we have been talking about this diagram that you can't see, so let me move it forward so you can see. So this diagram here we've been talking about. Workshop 1, we talked about beliefs and your thoughts, and how your thoughts you are taught your thoughts during your childhood by significant people, what to think of yourself, and where your place is in the world, and they develop your thoughts. So this is your belief. So we talked about in that workshop 1. So if you haven't seen it, please go back and have a look. It's really interesting. And then we talked, workshop 2, we talked about the biology. So how your thoughts make a feeling. So when you have a thought, it creates a chemical response within you. So this is the biology. So a lot of people have worrisome thoughts, make adrenaline. A lot of people have angry thoughts, frustrated thoughts, they build adrenaline. Not looking at anybody in the corner. Okay, so what thoughts you have create chemicals. So we talked about different chemicals, dopamine and oxytocin. So dopamine is the feel good, the pleasure, where you look for reward. So oxytocin, the bonding chemical. And then you have other chemicals like endorphins that gives you a natural high and feel good factor. So whatever chemical runs your body, you are preloaded to think about those things to create those chemicals. So we talked about that again. If you haven't seen number 2, feel free to go and have a look. Also very interesting, whole crux of what I'm excited about is the chemicals that run your body and how they are created through your thoughts. Behaviour. Last program we talked about behaviour and how you have pattern responses to make you behave a certain way. So once you have learned to respond a certain way to anything, piece of music, anything, you respond automatically that way. So if you have a significant person in your house who makes you angry, as soon as you see that person, they automatically feel angry. If a significant person in your house or somewhere else, so at work, makes you frustrated, as soon as you think of them, you'll feel frustrated. If they make you scared, you will feel scared as soon as you think of them. So you are predestined to go a certain way. So behaviour becomes automatic, and you have no real free will about how to behave because it is from your past. So we talked about this. So we talked about this is in the book. So I've written a book. I've probably talked about this before. So all of these diagrams and all of what I'm saying is part of the book. So you can find it on my website if you don't want to go through the workshops, if you prefer reading. Great read, free to read as well at the moment. So I would have a look at this. So this is us. Okay, so people respond certain way rounds. So a lot of people have a thought. The thought creates a chemical. So I am afraid of this, or I am confident of that. Whatever thought you have creates a chemical within your body. So I am afraid that I'm not really afraid of much now, but I am afraid that I won't.
Birds.
I'm not afraid of birds. I used to be afraid of birds, but I'm not now, which is really lucky because a bird flew in today and we have the bird looker after over there in the corner. So I am afraid that my granddaughter won't do her homeschooling. So that creates a chemical. Now if I'm actually really afraid of that, because she's awesome, so she's doing it, but it would create a chemical in my body. I'm afraid that I might lose my job. I'm afraid I won't have enough money. So that creates all images in my head, and that creates chemicals that run around my body to make me feel that certain way. Thank you. So this gives you your feelings, the chemicals. So you make images in your mind of something that's bad's going to happen, and it instantly, 50th of a second with adrenaline, if you remember we talked about it in workshop 2, it creates this chemical that runs around your body. So you are then feeling a certain way. You don't stop to think about if it's true, you just start worrying. Okay, so then we got the behaviour. So whatever you're feeling, you behave a certain way. So if you're feeling stressed and angry, or you've got adrenaline in your tummy and all over the place obviously, but you can't feel calm and thoughtful and relaxed about that. So a lot of people start with the thoughts, images in their mind, what they believe might happen, and that instantly creates chemicals, creates how you're feeling. So you don't think, oh, I'm building adrenaline. You actually just say, I'm afraid, or I'm worried, or I'm anxious. I've got a problem. And that creates a behaviour, because you are used to feeling one way, you behave a certain way. So most people start with the thoughts, but sometimes it's an instant behaviour and you don't really logically think about why you're behaving a certain way. So if you have a phobia, of like spiders or birds, you don't think, oh, I'm afraid of that. You see the spider and you become afraid of it. You know, you instantly, 50th of a second, feel fear. I used to be afraid of birds, as my helper in the corner has just said. So within a 50th of a second of seeing a bird, I would have started to panic. If that bird came in a few years ago, I would have panicked. I wouldn't have thought, how can I get this bird out? Luckily, I'm not afraid, so I could think about a logical plan in order to get the bird out of the house. So sometimes the behaviour comes first, because, well, it's the chemical first, and it's a response to that. You don't believe you're afraid of birds, you instantly respond to things. So for you then, this problem that you want to change, how you're feeling, and what you want to change about yourself, then does that come from your thoughts first, or do you instantly respond without a thought, or are you creating feelings about stuff? So have a little think. We're going to stop the recording and have a little think about what comes first for you. Do you think about things and then become afraid? Or do you act instantly without consciously thinking about what you're afraid of? You just see something and respond. Like the piece of music that makes you happy, the bird that used to make me afraid, the spider that makes her afraid. No spiders here, baby. So do you see something and respond without consciously being aware that you're actually responding in a negative fashion? So have a think about it. We're going to come back and talk a bit more. So how do you respond? Do you think about things? Are you anxious? Are you worrying? Are you stressed? Or is it an instant feeling of another emotion that you might feel? Okay, so we're going to come back in a minute and have a little think and have a stop, do a record, write it down like we always do, and then get back to me as soon as you've written it down. All right, have a great time, day, whatever. Just a little bit off-putting in the corner. See you in a minute.